We are here today for our fourth Jiu Jitsu, how to succeed at Jiu Jitsu and life tip. So just recapping, Monday, day one, we talked about you gotta sign up, you gotta put skin in the game, you gotta get moving, you gotta actually get it started. That seems to be the biggest stumbling block for most people. Number two, show up, whether it's your own self-discipline increasing or your support network pushing your ass out the door, you need those as well. Number three, learn to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. Any good martial art class is going to push you. Any good, really, honestly, goal in life is going to push you to your limits. Get comfortable with that. That's kind of where you want to be. Number four today, our big focus, be patient.
He's looking at me because I am maybe the least patient person on the planet. I tend to do things that I'm good at, and I'm not patient enough to work on the things that I'm not very good at. However, that being said,
I disagree with that statement, but
I was gonna say that was the old Allison. I'm a little bit more patient now. So when I first started Jiu Jitsu, it was one of those things where I was like, I showed up to class, I want my stripe. I worked hard, I got it, and he's like, yeah, right, kid. Nope, not happening. So that being patient, that just enjoying the journey, and eventually, it was 5 years later, and I was starting to prep for my black belt, and those goals, those little goals that we talk about, they pushed so far, and eventually, patient enough, earn your black belt. So then the next step, obviously, the secondary black belt, same type of steps. And for me, I'm very goal-oriented, so setting a goal really helps push me towards that goal and helps with the patience a little bit. I definitely grew up in the generation with the Amazon Prime and the whole
instant gratification.
Instant gratification, which is fine. At the same time, as there is a part where you do have to be patient and actually enjoy tiny little things in life.
What do you mean it's 2 days to get me this thing that I need immediately?
I know, yeah. Listen, patience.
So from a sensei point of view, there is a reorganization of the mind where the getting to class and enjoying that class is the most important thing. Did you learn something? Did you get a little bit better at something? Did you improve from the previous day? That's ultimately, big scheme of things, all that actually really matters. If I don't put a stripe on your belt, if I take my black belt off and put a white belt on, what really changed? Nothing, right? Maybe the aesthetics of my uniform, but at the end of the day, the external markers don't matter as much as the internal improvement and internal skill building. In the case of a martial art class, obviously if you have some manner of goals, I was talking about financial goals with somebody the other day, and they're like, I'll be happy when I have $1 million in the bank. And I said, no, you won't, because once you have $1 million saved up, you're gonna want $2 million saved up. Just like everything else, things start to stack and build. Your jiu-jitsu skills, you will hit stumbling blocks and roadblocks, but once you have put a tremendous amount of work into these basics, you start unlocking kind of higher level concepts and higher level skills at a little bit of an accelerated rate. So that's the irony, is the more patient you are at the beginning, the faster things come later once you kind of have a good context for what you're talking about and what you're working on. Very short story. And the soccer story. I promised a soccer story today. Soccer story today is probably a good one today. So really quick, one of the most common questions we get is how long to black belt? And the answer we always give is, we don't know. We have minimums established, we don't have maximums established, because if it takes somebody, 5.5, almost 6 years to get to black belt, great. If it takes somebody 10 years to get to black belt, great. What's the difference? Again, the piece of cloth doesn't matter that much as long as you made forward progress over time. Life is gonna throw curveballs at you, boys and girls.
Yep.
You're gonna have little stumbling blocks, family issues, injuries, whatever. They're gonna put you a little side path. The path to your goal is never this way, it's always this way.
Yep.
Okay? All right, so real briefly, the soccer story. When I was young, whatever young meant, 8 years old, some of that territory, my brother and I were very excited at the beginning of the soccer season to sign up for soccer. And my dad is, in case you didn't know, from Italy. Soccer's, there's like the Catholic Church and the soccer church. They're right next to each other in terms of importance in Italy. I will let them debate which one is ultimately the most important. But so my dad was very happy. We were playing soccer. And I'd say about a month in, all the like running, soccer when you're little is disorganized and messy.
Definitely didn't help your brain.
Definitely did not help. No, I'm a very organized person. And my brother and I discovered Saturday morning cartoons, which I know are not really a thing anymore, but if you're around, over 30, you probably remember Saturday morning cartoons as being a big event of the day. And we no longer wanted to go to Saturday morning soccer. We wanted to stay home and watch Saturday morning cartoons. And my dad said, no, you sign up for soccer and you don't have to do it next year, but you're going to follow this commitment through. And I'm sure we whined and complained and whatever, but my dad was very simple. No, the answer is no, and there's no debating about this. I'm the parent. I have made this decision. You are going to see this through. You are going to follow it through. And I have told that story to lots of parents here where I'm like, listen, if they don't want to do jiu-jitsu, a year from now, that's great, but make sure when they hit stumbling blocks because Saturday morning cartoons come up, or one of the most common ones we get now is, he gets home from school, and when he gets home from jiu-jitsu, he's always happy he went. But if he gets home from school and he turns on the Xbox, we have such a hard time getting him away from the Xbox or getting him away from the PlayStation. Yeah, no kidding. Those games are really good at capturing your attention. So we went to a business seminar once, and the guy joked. He goes, suggestion, when they come home from school, they start raking leaves. And it's fall, so good time for it. Then, when you go, all right guys, time to go to jiu-jitsu, they're gonna forward dive roll into the car to get away from the leaf raking. But if it's Xbox or PlayStation or whatever it is, obviously that's gonna be a really compelling individual thing. Anything to add?
I had a few thoughts, but they went right out the window.
Thursday morning, halfway through October. Yeah. Allison's nursing a little bit of a headache that happens from time to time, right? So, all right, guys, we're going to do kind of a little bit less cardio intense warm-up this morning. We've got a few minutes here, so we're going to kind of really stretch out those joints. My shoulders are really cranky. Allison's, you were saying your shoulders
My
too.
Neck, shoulders.
You played hockey last night. After jiu-jitsu, went and played hockey.
Yep.
All right, so I'll get it started up here.
Sure.
All right, guys, so we're going to look up and down. So get your body, look up at the ceiling nice and slowly. Look down at the ground, chin to the chest. I want you to slowly alternate up and down. Just working out those kinks. Be patient with it. All right, now come to the middle, and I want you to turn left. Hold left. While you're holding left, guys, look up and down. So I'm keeping that full turn out, trying to get my chin over my shoulder, and then up and down while there. Cool, let's go right. Same deal. Turn full right, and then up and down. Now you're very likely to find spots where like, well, that's tight. I feel a little twingy there. Pay attention to that. All right, last one for the neck. We're gonna do big rolls. One direction first, we will switch. So try not to roll your whole upper body, guys, just your neck moving. Nice and steady. All right, reverse that, opposite direction. And as always, with all these motions, I'm putting my breathing into the work. I'm breathing now as part of the motion. All right, so now neutral posture with your chin, and let's shrug. So big forward shoulder rolls. I'm trying to really move that shoulder capsule all the way around through its ranges of motion. Getting things nice and loose here. Good, and backwards, reverse that direction. We get 3 or 4 rolls through here. Breathing deep. Good, all right, we're gonna now go full shoulder. So I'm not trying to swing, I'm trying to extend. I'm trying to take my fingertips as far out from my sockets as I possibly can. Breathing through your motions as always, team. Good, and backwards, go. Nice, big, deep breath. Ooh, my shoulder popped there for me. All right, take your right hand. You're gonna reach down the middle of your back like so. The other hand's gonna come up as an assist. Do not pull, just hold. Keep your chin up, don't put your chin down and crunch. And you can feel a little bit of that extension and expansion here through the shoulders, some of your lat muscles, back muscles. Nice deep breath. Go ahead and switch. Nice deep breath as always. All right, one more for me. I take my right hand, guys, I'm gonna come across my body line. I'm gonna hook up above my elbow and let my body kind of sink across. and I'm pushing my opposite hip forward. So I'm getting a little bit of cross pull here all at the same time. Good, and switch, opposite side, pulling that shoulder forward a little bit. Again, pay attention to your body, guys. If something's particularly tight or cranky, respect that fact, it happens. Good. Allison?
All right, we're gonna do some big hip wheels here. Good, in the other direction. Awesome. Knees and ankles, so you can put them together and roll them here. Good, other direction. Awesome, you're gonna take your right leg and you're gonna come straight up the middle and try to touch with your left elbow that's right in the middle as well. Try to bring your knee up, not your elbow down. Try to get your elbow up as high as you can and try to touch knee to elbow. Just one side. What if we only did one side? That'd be funny.
The OCD part of my brain would explode.
Other side.
No!
Don't worry, we will do that other side.
You cannot.
Good. Now to the outsides. This time you are going to alternate right and left. Awesome. All right, you're going to take your left leg, cross it over your right leg, and you're going to just gently hang down the middle here. I like to think my arms have like weights in them and they're kind of pulling me down to the earth. Switch your leg. Good job. Separate your feet really wide. Hang down the middle here. Try to get your palms to touch the ground. Good, and you can walk it out and drop your hips and really arch your spine up. Awesome. Walk it back. Hang down the middle here again. Walk it over to your left. Walk it over to your right. Walk it over to your left. See a pattern? Walk it over to your right. One more time. Left. Right. Awesome. Last one here. We're gonna make big arches here. Come up. When you come up to the top, extend up through. Back down. When you hit the bottom, go the other way. Awesome. You guys can pause with those exercises. We're going to move into our box breathing technique. Key concepts on this: you're breathing in through your nose for a 4 count, holding that breath for a 4 count. Then you're breathing out through your mouth for a 4 count and holding that breath there for a 4 count. Goal is to focus on just your breathing, nothing else other than just that cadence of 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing this systematically makes it really easy to focus on that specific thing that we're working on right now. The goal is to kind of help alleviate stress. Maybe it helps your brain kind of take a second pause so that way you can reorganize your morning. Maybe it's been a crazy morning already and it's already 7:15. That's okay. Take a couple seconds to breathe. And it could be one big deep breath. That's 16 seconds. Good. Keep breathing. Good, and if you're maybe watching this later, it might be a great opportunity now to start getting some breathing into our day. Even if it's at noon, just remember this technique as a good way to get some good, solid reset on the brain.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we like to call it Leadership Thursday around here.
Yep.
That means we have our HIT Kickboxing on demand. HIT Kickboxing. Watch your email. We have an email going out this morning. Number one, big updates. We're excited. This is gonna be fun. Number two, our leadership classes. We have our ninja coaching. We have our ninjas class. We have our black belt club. Our leadership class all this afternoon. So awesome stuff there. Obviously tomorrow morning, HIT Kickboxing is a big one on Fridays for us, and then we'll be here back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for the wake up as always. If you guys are enjoying this, please, as always, like and subscribe. Helps us out quite a lot. And then Saturdays, we have all of our classes coming up. So exciting stuff, kind of cool things in the works.
Yep.
You ready?
I do. I have a dad joke today. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
It's just clever enough to be a really good dad joke. All right, team. Well done. Glad you guys joined us this morning. Let's get your day going. Get it going, guys.